Have you ever had that experience where your friend asks you how many birds that you have? And you kind of pause because you think, well, that should be an easy answer. It's just a number. And then you think, well, I know how many I originally had, and then you try to start doing the adds and subtracts and the math, and you realize it's going to take a while to answer, and then you feel a little guilty because you should know. Is that just me, or has anybody had that feeling before? Anyway, I solved it. I have 20 birds. 24 if you count the chicks in the nest right over there. That should show up in a few days. Isn't that cool? 2024. So this video is a little bit about how I got to that many birds. Just 20. And if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Otherwise, yeah. Happy New Year, and thanks for all the support this year. It's been an interesting year, and I do appreciate it very much. So I think when I made the last video, I was, I don't remember. It was a while ago. But what I do know that's happened since then is I have taken all the birds out of my bird room, and all the birds I have are now living in the aviary. One of the reasons, or maybe the primary reason, is because we discovered my dad is allergic to birds. So having birds up there was just not working out. He was getting increasingly miserable, and it took us a little while to figure out why. So that gave me the opportunity to think hard about what birds I could keep. I had already downsized, as you know, last spring, all the birds that could not share space in the aviary. And then the birds I was babysitting for my friend Troy came, and it got super crowded, and then I set up the bird room upstairs, and that let me manage the population for breeding purposes. So I could, say, separate out the twin spots who are very shy and easily overwhelmed by a lot of bird energy. I could take birds I didn't intend to breed, and that's what this space is behind you, the little part of the aviary. I could take pairs or birds that were too young that I didn't, that sort of thing. But without being able to keep the birds in the aviary, I had to rethink that. And so quite a few of the species that I had have gone to new homes. Really, and I met some really nice people in the process. Really great, dedicated finch keepers. And I'm super happy that if I can't keep them, I want them to go to people who want to use the genetics to help the species in U.S. aviculture. And I kept Peter and Molly and Sven and Lena, my buddies. But lavenders, Richie cordon blues, strawberry finches, etc. are in their new homes now. Everybody's doing great. So some of this video you can tell was from that time. And at that time, it was kind of hard. And I look like I'm not happy, I guess, or tired, or both, or something like that. And then right in the middle of that activity, I had another bird friend who got kind of sideways on her birds, and she had a pair that she was not able to keep kind of very unexpectedly, and I wanted to help out. So anyway, so I added 2 birds. It's the black cheeks talking to each other. And there's another net sound. Cue the sound. That's my new pair. And they caused me some interesting challenges, so I'll probably talk about that a little bit. Good morning. This is my new bird room. I'll give you a tour. It'll take like a 90-degree pan. It's got great storage. I only have a couple of flights, and these are 2 new additions, kind of unexpected, actually very unexpected. They're pintail parrot finches, and they were with a bird friend of mine, and that person couldn't keep them, and I decided that I could help out, and they should do okay in the aviary, but I have a problem. You can see this neurotic behavior. That's the female. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They've been in this flight for, I don't know, a couple weeks now. And she is terrified of things that move. She's not too happy with me either. So this is one of those screens that has the plastic backing, and then all of the vegetation is on this side of the screen, so it doesn't move, it doesn't respond to her flying. And what I'm trying to do is get her used to those vegetation over there is just outside the cage, and it just gently wavers and whatever when she or he flies over, and she is very worried about it. So that does not bode well for being in the aviary. I've tried all kinds of things. I tried putting some stuff on the bottom, on the grass, like burlap or something that doesn't move at all. She's like very suspicious of it. I've tried putting the stuff inside the cage so that they can like futz with it and feel like, oh yeah, okay, that's fine. She just is not used to things other than probably a pretty sterile setup. And the male is younger, and he's a little more okay with it. Doesn't fully understand it. They also are very inclined to land on something flat. I don't think they've had a lot of experience landing on uneven surfaces. So he doesn't engage with it much, but he's not afraid of it. So the long story short is I've been trying to do a lot of different things to get her comfortable, and she's not comfortable. It doesn't get better. So I gotta take some action. Ultimately, I think they'll be fine in the aviary. Yeah, so even though I'm not I'm a wax bill snob. So the reason that I can't really keep them in here is we've discovered my dad is allergic to birds. So these guys need to go somewhere, and I really, really would like to see how they do in the aviary. I just can't. I think I'm gonna move them into the aviary today. Yeah, let's catch them up and check their bands and do toenails and set them free. What do you think? Not free, you know what I mean. In the aviary. Yeah, I know you're gonna be unhappy, but I have to believe you'll be happier in a bigger space. I already moved the male down, and what I did is closed up the warming area so he has it all to himself. And then as soon as I move her down, I'll go down and watch, make sure they're finding food and water in there first. And then I'll open the door to they're going to go into the smaller side of the aviary. So I'll open the door and then, yeah, watch and cross my fingers. Okay, they're both down in the warming area. You can see that the door is closed to the pass-through to the aviary. They're a little overwhelmed, don't know what's going on. So I'm just going to sit down and watch, sit quietly with them and watch, make sure that they're okay. And then we'll open that up and I'll try and show you a clip when they're in the new space. This is a few days later, so much better. It worked out exactly the way I was hoping. The female is still nervous of me. I can't film inside that space yet, but she's exploring, they're eating, they're drinking, they've worked things out with the other birds. So everything looks really good. Well, for the most part, the female does not get along with this little baby black-cheeked on the left. That's one of the latest chicks. And you'll see here that they squabble a little bit, but generally everybody's doing great and there's no real serious bullying or fighting going on. My only real problem is that I am a snob and I don't like the noise that they make, and they're a little too colorful for me. But they're fine, they're lovely, and I have no experience working with them, so I'm interested to learn about them. Okay, so that's what's going on with them. So real quick update on the greenback twin spots. I did keep 2 pair. I have had these guys for quite a while. They're aging out now. All of the other unrelated pairs I sent out to breeders. And unfortunately, I don't, unless somebody has had success and I just don't know it, I don't think there are any new chicks coming in from that effort. So I kind of made mistakes there, and I don't want to repeat those mistakes with the black-cheeked waxbills, but as you can see, I simply don't have the room to breed all these species, and I thought I was doing a good thing and documenting everything so people could have success, and it just didn't pan out. So anyway, you can see Dilbert, this is kind of funny. He loves to decorate the nests with gravel. He finds the whitest gravel he can. So, but there's no eggs. And so it won't be anything happening until next spring, if then. So then the black cheeks, though, are a different story. I am having some success with them. And enough so that I felt like in the process of downsizing, I could let 2 of my original imported pairs go to another gentleman who's keenly interested in the species. And I have enough chicks from them so that I feel like that's a really good decision to try to establish a second sort of breeding population. And he also fosters, so he can use the foster parents to help raise the chicks, because these guys are hard. They have some failure modes. And if I get enough chicks in the right distribution, I ought to be able to come up with a 3rd unrelated pair, and then I would make that available to him. And then he would have 3 unrelated pairs, which is a pretty good start for another, group. So I'm excited about that, and hopefully that will come to fruition. I should know, very shortly with this next clutch whether what I need are females. So that's pretty cool.
Thanks for watching.